Welcome back to the Mindset Advantage. I'm Jeffrey Wendel, and today we're going to talk about something that's been woven throughout every episode of this podcast, even if we haven't explicitly named it: the power of community and mentorship. Here's a truth I've learned in my 33 years as a coach and mentor. No one achieves success alone. Behind every achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of growth, there are people who supported, guided, challenged, and believed in us. There are communities that held us accountable, mentors who showed us the way, and relationships that sustained us through difficult times. Today, we're going to explore why community and mentorship are essential for personal and professional development. We're going to talk about how to find mentors, how to be a mentor, and how to cultivate the kinds of relationships and connections that make life not just successful, but meaningful. This is the penultimate episode of our series, and it's fitting that we're talking about community, because everything we've discussed, mindset, resilience, excellence, leadership, all of it happens in the context of relationships. Let's dive in. Let me start by talking about why community matters so much for personal growth. Human beings are wired for connection. We're social creatures. We don't just want relationships, we need them. Research consistently shows that people with strong social connections are happier, healthier, more resilient, and even live longer than those who are isolated. But community isn't just about survival or well-being. It's about growth. When you're part of a supportive community, you have access to resources, perspectives, and opportunities that you wouldn't have on your own. You have people who challenge you to be better, who hold you accountable to your goals, who celebrate your wins and support you through your losses. Throughout my career, I've been blessed to be part of many communities: the business development community, the coaching community, the local Union City community where I volunteer. Each of these communities has shaped me, taught me, and given me opportunities to grow and contribute. When I coach the UC Indians baseball team, I'm not just teaching individual players. I'm building a community, a team culture where everyone supports each other, where we run through the wall together, where we achieve goals higher than we ever dreamed. That community is what makes the difference between a group of individuals and a high-performing team. The opposite of community is isolation. And isolation is one of the greatest obstacles to growth. When you're isolated, you don't have access to different perspectives. You don't have accountability. You don't have support when things get tough. You're limited by your own knowledge, your own experience, your own blind spots. That's why one of the most important decisions you can make for your personal and professional growth is to intentionally cultivate community, to surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and support you. Now let's talk about mentorship, which is a specific and powerful type of relationship within community. A mentor is someone who has walked the path before you and is willing to share their wisdom, guidance, and support. A mentor sees potential in you that you might not see in yourself. A mentor challenges you, encourages you, and helps you navigate obstacles that would be much harder to face alone. I've spent 33 years as a mentor, in business, in coaching, in life, and I can tell you without hesitation, mentorship is one of the most fulfilling aspects of my work. When I see someone I've mentored achieve something they didn't think was possible, when I watch them grow into their potential, when they come back and tell me how something I taught them made a difference, that's what it's all about. But here's what I want you to understand. Mentorship is a two-way street. The mentor gives wisdom and guidance, yes, but the mentee gives fresh perspective, energy, and the reminder of why the work matters. I learn from the people I mentor just as much as they learn from me. Great mentorship relationships have several key characteristics. First, there's trust. The mentee trusts that the mentor has their best interests at heart. The mentor trusts that the mentee will be coachable, and will take action on the guidance they receive. Second, there's honesty. A good mentor tells you what you need to hear, not just what you want to hear. They challenge you when you're settling for less than your potential. They hold up a mirror so you can see your blind spots. Third, there's commitment. Both parties are committed to the relationship and to the growth process. It's not transactional, it's transformational. Fourth, there's mutual respect. The mentor respects the mentee's journey, even if it's different from their own. The mentee respects the mentor's time, wisdom, and experience. One of the questions I get asked most often is, how do I find a mentor? Here's my advice. Look for someone who has achieved what you want to achieve. If you want to build a successful business, find someone who's done it. If you want to develop as a leader, find someone who leads well. If you want to cultivate resilience, find someone who's overcome significant adversity. Look for someone whose values align with yours. Skills and strategies can be taught, but if your core values don't align, the relationship won't work. Be willing to ask. Most successful people are willing to mentor others, but they're busy. You need to be the one to initiate. Reach out. Be specific about what you're hoping to learn. Be respectful of their time. Be coachable. The fastest way to lose a mentor is to ask for advice and then not take it. You don't have to do everything they suggest, but you need to seriously consider it and be willing to act on it. Now let's flip the script. Let's talk about being a mentor yourself. You might be thinking, Jeffrey, I'm not qualified to be a mentor. I don't have enough experience or expertise. Let me challenge that thinking. You don't need to be an expert to be a mentor. You just need to be a few steps ahead of someone else on the journey. When you mentor someone, you're not just helping that one person. You're creating a ripple effect. The person you mentor will go on to mentor others. The wisdom you share will be passed down. The investment you make will compound over time. This is why I created the Jeffrey Wendel Scholarship. I wanted to invest in students who would go on to make a positive impact in their communities. I wanted to create a ripple effect of education, empowerment, and service. If you're considering becoming a mentor, here are a few principles that have guided me. Listen more than you talk. Your job as a mentor isn't to have all the answers. It's to ask the right questions and help your mentee discover their own answers. Share your failures, not just your successes. The most valuable lessons often come from what didn't work. Be vulnerable about your mistakes and what you learned from them. Challenge with compassion. Push your mentee to grow, but do it with kindness and support. The goal is to stretch them, not break them. Celebrate their wins. Be their biggest cheerleader. When they achieve something, celebrate it with genuine enthusiasm. Stay connected. Mentorship isn't a one-time conversation. It's an ongoing relationship. Check in regularly. Be available when they need guidance. I want you to do an exercise with me right now. I call it the Community and Mentorship Map. This is about taking inventory of your current relationships and identifying opportunities for growth. First, think about your current community. Who are the people in your life who support your growth? Who challenges you? Who celebrates your wins? Who holds you accountable? Make a mental list of these people. Now ask yourself, is my community diverse? Do I have people from different backgrounds, industries, and perspectives? Or am I surrounded by people who all think like me? And here's a tough question. Are there people in my life who are actually holding me back? Who are negative, unsupportive, or toxic? Sometimes growing means making difficult decisions about which relationships to invest in and which to let go. Second, think about your mentors. Who are the people who have guided you, taught you, and invested in your growth? Take a moment to feel gratitude for them. Now ask, is there an area of my life where I need a mentor but don't have one? Maybe it's in your career, your finances, your relationships, your health, your spiritual life. Where do you need guidance that you're not currently getting? Third, think about who you're mentoring. Who are you investing in? Who are you helping grow? If the answer is no one, ask yourself, who could I mentor? Who's a few steps behind me on the journey who could benefit from my experience and wisdom? This map gives you a clear picture of where you are and where you need to grow in terms of community and mentorship. Let me give you 3 practical strategies for building and sustaining meaningful connections in your community. Strategy 1, show up consistently. Community isn't built in a single interaction. It's built through consistent presence. Whether it's attending a weekly meeting, volunteering regularly, or staying in touch with your network, consistency is key. In my work with the UC Indians, I show up to every practice, every game. I'm present, I'm invested. That consistency builds trust and deepens relationships. Strategy 2, give before you ask. The best way to build community is to contribute value before you need anything in return. Offer help, share resources, make connections for others, celebrate their successes. When you give generously, you build social capital that creates a foundation of mutual support. Throughout my career, I've always looked for ways to support the people in my community, whether it's through coaching, mentoring, or simply being available when someone needs guidance. That generosity comes back to you many times over. Strategy 3, be vulnerable and authentic. Deep connections are built on authenticity. Don't just share your highlight reel. Share your struggles, your doubts, your failures. When you're vulnerable, you give others permission to be vulnerable. And that's where real connection happens. I make it a point to share my own challenges and learning moments with the people I mentor and coach. It creates psychological safety and builds trust. Let's recap what we've covered today. First, we talked about why community matters. Human beings are wired for connection, and community provides support, accountability, and opportunities for growth. Second, we explored the power of mentorship, both having mentors who guide you and being a mentor who invests in others. Third, we did a community and mentorship map to assess your current relationships and identify opportunities for growth. And finally, we discussed 3 strategies for building meaningful connections. Show up consistently, give before you ask, and be vulnerable and authentic. Here's my challenge for you this week. Take one action to strengthen your community or mentorship relationships. Maybe you reach out to a potential mentor. Maybe you offer to mentor someone. Maybe you reconnect with your community in a meaningful way. Whatever it is, take action. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. In fact, you can't. Your growth, your success, your fulfillment, all of it happens in the context of relationships. Invest in your community. Seek out mentors. Become a mentor yourself. That's how we all rise together. Thank you for joining me for episode 14 of The Mindset Advantage. I hope this episode has inspired you to invest in the relationships that will support your growth and to give back by supporting others. Next week is our final episode of this series, your 30-day Mindset Action Plan. We're going to bring together everything we've learned over the past 14 episodes and create a practical, actionable plan for implementing these principles in your life. It's going to be a powerful conclusion to our journey together. Until then, remember, no one succeeds alone. Build your community, find your mentors, invest in others, change your mind, and you will change your life. And together, we'll change the world.